Welcome to Dark Stories for Scary Kids. This week's episode, The Stranger. Enjoy. There once was a boy who lived near a forest. He was young and brave and spent most of his days stalking and daring the creatures of the forest to come and face him, so that he may one day become a hunter like his father. But when his father would hear, he would say, "No, let your brother face the creatures there. He is stronger and more agile." And to this the boy would curse and rage, and he was sure that he was ready, and could defeat any creatures that came out of the darkness of the forest. But as the boy slept at night, he would hear things from the forest, awful, distant screams and snarls, creatures growling, twigs snapping, but at its worst, the sounds would form a voice. The voice is what plagued the boy most nights. It was rare, but always in the back of his mind as he lay waiting, hoping for sleep. He would fear the nights when the voice would inevitably call to him, the faint voice of a ghostly woman singing, summoning him to the depths of the forest. The boy tried to ignore it, and as the sun rose, he made it his personal duty to guard his house from the forest and swore that he would enter it one day to find the cursed woman calling to him. When the first morning of winter came, his father gave his older brother his blessing to enter the forest to collect food. The boy was furious and barricaded himself in his room all day, refusing to come out until he was allowed to join his brother in the darkness of the woods. But as the hours passed, still barricaded with his anger fading, day turned to night, and the boy began to wonder, where was his brother? He and his family waited, but still he never returned. His father patrolled its edges nervously, and his mother cried, and from then on the boy was determined. He would have his revenge and conquer the forest once and for all. So as night fell again, the boy stole his father's old bow, working his way through the quiet house until he snuck outside. The night was cold, and he was scared, but still he went on into the forest. He would find his brother. The boy went on, deeper into the woods, searching for whatever had seemingly taken his brother. But soon, once he was deep in the forest, he stopped and listened. Something was moving, shifting between the trees. Soon enough, those sounds came closer and formed together. It was the voice, and it was getting louder. At first, it was nothing. Distant whispers and the sound of breathing echoing through the trees. Then it formed, singing, "Little boy, how I love to make such friends." The boy persisted, going deeper and deeper into the forest until a root caught his leg, and he fell and hurt his knee. He pulled himself behind a rock and waited, the voice drawing closer and closer. "Where are you, little boy?" It playfully sung again and again. The boy slammed his eyes shut and tried to cover his ears and not listen, but the voice was too loud, as if it was coming from inside him. Soon the voice stopped, and he gained enough courage to open his eyes and look out. Two red eyes peered out, searching from the dark. "You should have stayed home, little boy. See you soon." And in an instant, the eyes turned and faced him, and the boy fell asleep, falling faint against the rock that had once sheltered him. In the morning, the boy woke and examined his surroundings. No creature in sight. However, a curiosity sat at his feet. There by his muddy boots lay some fabric, something under the leaves. He tugged at it until it came free. It was his brother's coat, caked in dried blood, and for once he listened. Go home. He began to run. He ran as fast as he could through the bush and muck, jumping riverbeds and old fallen trees, trying his very best to get home as quickly as he could. But by the time he had arrived, it was too late. He saw the door was open, its surface clawed and broken inward, and that the house was quiet and empty. The creature had come and gone. He ran inside and checked the house, calling out to his family. There was no response. The house was now empty. He hid under his sheets, refusing to believe it was all real. Surely this was all another nightmare. And that's where the boy waited and waited, waiting once more for the cold and the night to come and bring with it the voice to finish its dreadful job and conquer the self-proclaimed protector of the house. Stories surround the boy and his family's fate now. Some say they're vengeful ghosts that wander the plains in search of fresh victims. Some say they are hidden away someplace far away, invisible to the world. But all that can be assured is that their fate lay in that forest, with a sign with the word warning as its title sitting on the boundary. Beware all those who listen, and to fly before night comes, for here is the grave of the boy who listened to the stranger's wonderful call. Listen for the voice that dances in the dark.